This, of course, is St. Patrick's Day. And I have never celebrated St. Patrick's Day other than when I was much younger, using it as an excuse to go out and drink. I don't understand St. Patrick's Day. I then found out that I'm Irish. My grandmother was a Murphy, one of my two grandmothers. It made no difference. It's not good when you find out you're Irish at like 40. It means it clearly was not part of your upbringing. But I've never understood St. Patrick's Day, and if I have it wrong, I even visited a friend at his bar today, and everybody's just it's just an excuse to drink, which is fine. I don't have anything against that at all. But I don't. Someone, Brian Bulaga, can you help me on the significance of St. Patrick's Day to you?
Well, to me, I can't say it has much. I mean, I'm Polish, so there's not much that that I have to celebrate on St. Patty's Day. It's a big day in Chicago. They've dyed the river green and all that, and people do like to have a couple drinks and enjoy themselves. But it wasn't something that I normally got into. And
wasn't a family thing either.
No, wasn't a family thing.
Yeah,
Nope.
And in my case, my father was a recovering alcoholic, so for many years he didn't need a holiday to drink.
Yeah,
Every day was St. Patrick's Day, and I don't mention this because I didn't suffer at all from my father being an alcoholic, so it's not like my life growing up was fine. He controlled it, never affected him personally, never affected his business life. Just one day, somebody was smart enough to tell him, you probably should cut back on this. I was 18, and so he went to a hospital for a couple weeks, and after that, never drank again. So it's not like it's a problem, but I'm saying it's odd that my father, given his, he always had Jack Daniels and Coke at dinner every night.
Oh.
Big a mug. You couldn't see what it was. So depending on
mug. A mug.
Yes, a mug. And so this is more than you need to know, but I'll tell you. So in honor of him, when I was 18, it was not legal in Indiana to drink, but you could drink in Michigan, which is only like 10, 15 minutes away. So I went to a bar in Michigan, said, all right, I'll have my dad would put Jack Daniels and Coke in his mug. Said, I'll have a Jack Daniels and Coke. And the guy goes, no, you won't. What do you mean I won't? He goes, I won't let you ruin that Jack Daniels with Coke. Said, my dad has it every day at dinner. He goes, well, then have it with your dad at dinner. I'm not serving you one. Oh, had to wait another day to get my first Jack Daniels and Coke. And it is accurate, I will say, that the first time I drank it, the Coke is strong.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's way in the morning. So to everybody, a happy St. Patrick's Day, but means almost nothing to me. Pebble, does St. Patrick's Day mean anything to you?
It means absolutely nothing to me, Homer, as well. I do not drink, and I am not even Irish whatsoever. I'm half German, quarter English, and a quarter French, so I'm not Irish whatsoever. It has nothing, no meaning whatsoever.
There you go.
Yeah, and I believe corned beef and cabbage or corned beef is not even a traditional Irish dish as well, so... And people have that today as well.
Yes. Corned beef is okay. I have corned beef at various times, and that's part of it. Yeah, it was not. How often do I have corned beef other than if I had it on St. Patrick's Day? Maybe once. Brian Bulag, any corned beef and cabbage other than St. Patrick's Day or even on St. Patrick's Day?
Not even on St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, okay.
It's not getting eaten in the Bulag house. We'll just put it that way.
Corned beef, I would say, is pretty good.
A nice Reuben sandwich, yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying it's not a regular.
Right.
It's not a regular.
None of us are going to oversell it.
It's not in the rotation.
I don't think it's in the rotation for anybody, basically. I think the where it sits in terms of a sandwich is pretty low. All right, that's more than I needed to know. I just didn't want to offend anybody. Why don't you even mention St. Patrick's Day? We just did Happy St. Patrick's Day, and do whatever it is you do, though most everybody knows what people do on St. Patrick's Day. All right, let's get to, I heard your discussion about the Packers. You feel like you're having to defend this team a little bit. The sense that I have, like, is that, do you think you're more positive? I was going to ask you, because you played on good teams.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you like this time of year with other teams? Are there some years you'd go, man, this team is really good, they didn't turn out, or you just don't overthink it? It's a job also, in addition to you always want your team to be good. So take it away. The history of you as a player this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, I think this time of year, based on obviously seasons past, you look back on what happened, the previous season, and you're able to get a good gauge on what you were able to accomplish as a team, what you have coming back, and all that, and you could see what your front office has done and what they've done to improve the team up to this point. And I always like to look at it and say, all right, who did they improve the team up to the before the draft, and obviously in today's case in Green Bay they have. This is 2 years in a row where they have improved the team in free agency. They brought in the guard and they brought in the corner, so we look at that as a positive. So for me, if I was on this team, or even for me looking on the outside right now, I look at it as they've made steps to make this team better than it was last year. How these guys play and they pan out, that's remains to be seen. We can't judge that right now. I mean, that we need to give that some time, and we need to give this team, this rendition of this team, some time, right? Like we can't judge it right now, and that's a little premature of us. But we can look at last year as a little bit of a precursor and think like, I think people are more nervous about the wide out position and all that. But listen, there's no one coming to save, the wide out room now. There's no one coming. Like, yes, they may have a draft pick. They may draft a kid in the second or the third or the fourth round, but there's no Devontae, there's no anyone coming through the door to save the room. And so right now, you need to look at the guys that we have and look at those guys now to take that responsibility on and step up and be better than they were last year. And I truly think that Wicks and Reed, I think those guys can do that. I think they can play well. And that's the confidence that I think the guys in that locker room now have to show and have in that room. If that was an issue that guys thought, or that was kind of a belief that maybe people were having in the locker room that, oh man, we need to add a piece here or add a weapon there. Obviously, at the Super Bowl media row, that was something that got mentioned by a couple guys. So, now it's time to show the confidence in that room. Nothing happened. There was a chance nothing could happen. Now it didn't happen. Now it's time to back that room and show the confidence in those guys and get behind them. Because like I said, they may add a kid in the draft and the kid could be great. You know what I mean? He may come, he may roll in here and he may be fantastic. And hey, well, there we go. We got another great player. But, the odds of that, it could happen, but you don't know. So then at the pass rusher position, we just have to count on Rashawn Gary taking another step in this defense. We have to count on Van Ness taking another step and his progression as figuring out his way as a pro. And maybe they go back in the draft, they find someone like I don't know what they're thinking, and with pick one, they may be thinking corner again. I don't know what they're thinking. But we have to trust the guys that are on the team. That's what the GM's doing. That's what the coaching staff, that's what they have. And that's what we have to trust as people from the outside looking in on it, and that these guys are making the proper steps in the offseason to be ready to go in week one.
You're so nice. I'm already judging this team. You're just so nice. Yeah. I'm judging this team. All right. And I agree with everything you say. But for example, here's how we judge this team. This, okay. I wondered how you would be. It's the difference between a player, future Hall of Famer, and me, just whatever I am. All right. Here's how we judge the team. Every team. In the offseason, do I think this team is going to win the Super Bowl? Okay. Or how would I view it if they did? Would I be surprised if this team won the Super Bowl? Last year, I might have said that. Right now, I would say I would be shocked if this team won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Or that seems a little strong. That seems like something the Bears should say. I don't know. Surprised or Pebble maybe can come up with another word. But I'm judging this team, and I judge the team for a reason because I think it's appropriate to judge so that if they do it, they deserve the appropriate amount of respect for what they accomplished. When Brett Favre's team did it in 96, there's no way I had the same respect for them that I would have for the Packer team this year if they won. Because that team was supposed to win the Super Bowl. They were the best team in the league. Only reason they didn't win before is because Dallas had one of the best teams ever. And so, yeah, you're supposed to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to be disappointed if you don't. It's still an incredible accomplishment. But I wouldn't say I was surprised or shocked. And that's what I would be. I think shocked seems too strong. Shocked is what the Tennessee Titans or the
taken aback maybe instead of surprised.
I think surprised. I'm willing to live with surprise. I would be surprised. I'm getting rid of shock. Shock's too negative. So that each person can use their own word. Why? Because we do judge this team. All the things you're suggesting, there's some level of confidence. And that tells you, I mean, everybody, if they don't, they're just wrong. Everybody has confidence in Goody. Everybody has confidence in LaFleur. Everybody has confidence in Jordan Love. Not everybody. Some people call him average. The question is, how much confidence? And recognizing, as good as the Packers have been, how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Things have to fall your way, even if you're good. They certainly did when you won in 2010. That was easily could have lost to Philadelphia at the end of the game and the plays that occurred. But you made the play, so you get credit for it. You did it. It wasn't like the ball just bounced your way. You made the play. So, yeah, I judge this team right now, and I'll judge it every day. Right now, I am surprised. I will be surprised if they win the Super Bowl. And now, more importantly, we get Brian Bulaga. What's the word that you would say if the Packers won the Super Bowl?
I mean, I think, I would be
surprised is too strong. I can tell you. I can tell already.
I mean, yeah, because I still think that. I mean, I honestly think they're one of the best 6 teams in the NFC. So, like, I look at them as I think they're a playoff team. So, I think once you get into that tournament, anything can happen. So, like, that's the way I look at that. So, like, to say I'd be completely surprised, like, I wouldn't be. So.
But my question to you is, I've been there, I've seen this 7 seed, you're a 6 seed, you're one of the best 6 teams in the NFC. That don't cut it.
No, I listen.
But
it totally
did in 2010. Understand. Yes, they were 6 seed in 2010.
And I've been. I mean, you and I have talked about this. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've been the best 1 seed that the NFL's almost ever seen.
2011. People just don't. And if you don't, you have to look and realize how great that team was.
Yeah, I've been that, and I've been the 6. So and I've been in the middle, right? And I've been the team that's, so I understand how it all, how everything looks and how it functions.
And I want to ask you a question. I'll bet your entire time with the Packers, there was never a season in which, when the season started, you would have said you would have been surprised to win the Super Bowl. Every year you thought, no, we can win the Super Bowl.
Every single season.
Every single season, okay.
Every single season. Right. There wasn't one that I thought, there's no... The only one that you just don't know how it's going to start, and this is just because I had no idea, was LaFleur's first year, right? Because it was so new. I wasn't sure how the first 4 games would go. You can, I'm not saying you could win a Super Bowl in the first 4 games, but you can sure as hell lose one in the first 4 games if those things go really bad in the first 4 weeks, right? If you go 0-4 or 1-3, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's hard to recover from that. And if things start going south. So I wanted to see how we would, how the team responded. I mean, we training camp was really good. We all loved the messaging and we loved what was going on in the dynamic of the team. But hey, once you get out there on Sunday, things are different, right? And when there's the actual stressors of the game, guys react differently, coaches react differently, different personalities potentially could come out, and there could be clashes. So you want to see how that works. But that was probably the only time. And then once we got through, I would say the first 3 weeks, I felt immediately like, oh yeah, with this team, with LaFleur and these guys, we can go. We can go. Yeah, there's no doubt. We got the team. We got the dudes. We can go. We got the coach. We got the scheme. Like I feel great about it. And that's how, I mean, and that's why I feel like, and I said it on KBN, like when you have in Green Bay, and this isn't everywhere around the league, and maybe it's me just being because I was in Green Bay with one of these guys for so long, in Aaron. When you're in Green Bay with a quarterback, when the expectation is what it is, right? Like you have a top quarterback, Jordan Love, no matter what you want to say about it now, when you're being paid that way, he's being paid that way. He's being paid as a guy that the expectation is he's going to play as a top quarterback. And I think he can. But he just has to find his way. The expectation, though, is that you can lead and help your team get to a Super Bowl. So I look at as long as that piece is in place in Green Bay, the expectation is that they can get there. And that should be the goal and the prize for that team and that organization every single year. So I look at it the same way because I think the coach is there. I think the GM understands that's the goal. And obviously they're changing presidents, and the new president very well understands he wants that on his resume too, just like Murphy had it, and just like the one before him. Like they all want that on their resume, right? That's something that they want. So that is something that the organization and everyone in it wants so bad. So like, to me, to say that if they got there, I would be just, oh my, I can't even believe it. No, I just don't, because I still, like I said, I still believe they're one of the best teams in the NFC. Are they the top team? No, they're not. They're not there. They're not there. I mean, do I think they're top three? No, I don't think they're top three. But you don't got to be the top three right now. You don't got to be the top three right now. This is not the time to be the top three. So at this time, I just want you to start building this thing. Get this thing in the right direction. We'll see about the top three, the top four, and all that when we get into January.
That is the doctor himself, Brian Bulaga. It is the Bulaga Homer Hour. If the Packers win the Super Bowl, I would be, choices now in the Discount Liquor Twitter poll questions, surprised or shocked. I want to add a third one, but I don't have it yet. We'll do that next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43, still seeing delays from before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. On the southbound side, slowing from Fond du Lac all the way down over the high-rise bridge down towards the KK River crossing. We do have an incident on the off-ramp to Beecher from 4394 southbound, so just be careful with that. Westbound 94, watch for backups from 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41, slowing down from just before Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, mostly clear, breezy with the low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high of 40s in the north, 50 in Milwaukee, 60 to the south. Weather's brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Join their two-man scramble tournament and play TPC Sawgrass for a chance to win cash through the 31st. Sign up at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Multiple sclerosis is an unpredictable, often disabling disease of the central nervous system. There is currently no cure for MS. Symptoms vary from person to person, and MS does not discriminate, as anyone can be diagnosed. An estimated 1 million people in the United States live with MS, with more than 20,000 right here in Wisconsin. The National MS Society funds cutting-edge research, drives change through advocacy, and provides programs and services to help people affected by MS live their best lives. Connect with nationalmssociety.org to learn more.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
Do you guys have an issue with UNC getting in?
Yeah. We just laid out the reasons why they shouldn't be in there, but unfortunately, we know the reality of the situation. And it stinks that a team like Indiana or West Virginia, who, if you compare their resumes, have a much bigger case, in my opinion, to get in. Indiana 4-13 against Quad 1 teams, West Virginia 6-10 against Quad 1 teams. UNC just 1-12 against those Quad 1 teams. And they had one of the toughest schedules in the country. So they had a lot of opportunities to beat quality opponents, and they fell short. But this is a tournament that's for not only sports, but entertainment. entertainment. North Carolina is a huge brand. You obviously have Bubba Cunningham chairing the committee, and even if he's recusing himself at that time, we can't act like that doesn't have any influence. And let's be real about the situation. North Carolina is an earner. It's a big brand. It's going to bring a lot of eyeballs. They get treated differently than other teams.
ZipRecruiter is the place. ZipRecruiter is the place for talented teachers, savvy software developers, and master mixologists. ZipRecruiter is the place where you meet all these people and more. That's because ZipRecruiter is the place for job seekers who are looking for new opportunities. In fact, ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day, so you can find the right candidates right away. It's no wonder that ZipRecruiter is the place for skilled skydiving instructors, accomplished airbrush artists, and proficient pediatricians. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter to hire, you're missing out. ZipRecruiter is the place that's so confident it can make your hiring easier that it lets you try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. So if you want the right candidates for all your roles, ZipRecruiter is the place to go. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
Are you ready to shake things up at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee? All you gotta do is toss your rewards card into your favorite slots for drawing entries and a chance to be in the Roll for Riches game show. What's on the table? Oh, just $300K in cash and prizes. Play this March, and Thursday nights, you could get on a winning streak that, frankly, you deserve. Let it ride and Roll for Riches. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The Brian Bulaga Homer Hour, and we now, Pebble did a great job, we have the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. How would you describe the Packers winning the Super Bowl this coming season? Shocked, surprised, or long overdue? I say surprised. And now, the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga. Of those three, which do you pick? Hold on. We're not hearing Brian yet.
I would pick long overdue.
I figured you would.
Yeah, because honestly, I'm responsible for that too. I'm responsible for that. You know what I mean? Like I'm partially part of that problem.
Wow.
Yes, I am. I'm partially part of that problem because I was part of the problem of not being able to help get us over the line from 2010 to 2019.
Okay, but I have to assess, unlike you, I'd have to assess the performance. For example, you're part of the problem. I believe that Aaron Rodgers was a bigger part of the problem than you.
Well, we all played a role in it.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like this is a team game.
It is.
Right? There's 11 guys on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of how I played, I might have played great in the playoffs. I don't know how. I mean, I'd have to go back and rewatch all those games, but there was probably I probably had a handful of plays in those games that if I would have done better, we could have maybe gotten a better result on a play. Maybe we got a first down. You know, who knows, right? Mm-hmm. But everyone has their hands in those playoff losses. Everybody. So
true.
For me, I look at it as long overdue because I was part of those teams that didn't get it over the line. So I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Sugar-free. 1-800-990-3776, the carbless talk and text line. Less is more. Always love calls, questions. If you care about anything, you automatically have questions. That's how I determine if you care. And always disappointed we don't have more questions for the Doctor of Football than we do. But sugar-free. Let her fly. You're on 94.5 ESPN.
All right. So we got an offensive lineman, an expert on this on your show.
Nicely put. That's what I say that he is, an expert. That's right.
Yes. So he's going to agree with me here where nobody else is saying anything about the offensive line. Now, they did improve with Banks, but if they put Jenkins at center, that is a sin upon sins. So I'm going to ask Brian.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wait, hold on. I'll let you finish. You just say it's a sin. Now, why is that a sin? When you say that, you got to explain why.
I'm going to get to it.
Well, there's no get to it. You better lead with it.
I'm going to lead with it. Hold on here. I'm going to ask Brian, who is the top two offensive linemen right now as what you believe right now? The two best offensive linemen the Packers have.
It's Tom and Elton.
Yes, correct. So, and all of us thought, another thing, let me just add this. Everybody thought that Myers was going to get overpaid out there on the market. That's why we couldn't retain him. So that wasn't the case. The case was he was bad, and the Packers didn't want him back. That was what happened.
Whoa. I don't know that that's true. I don't think he was bad. Who did you call him? The expert?
Didn't think so either,
Let's ask the expert. I don't know. I don't know that. Do you, Brian Bulaga, do you think the Packers thought Myers was bad? I say no. I thought they saw a system that would make them better. But bad, no. But now I defer to the expert.
So this is what I will say. So in Myers' case, I was critical of him over the last few years, but I thought this last year he performed well, and I think the inconsistency of his performances from years prior to this year, I think, is what potentially scared some teams away. Would be my call. So that's why he's on a 1 year. He's essentially on another show me deal to do it again, replicate it, show us again, and that's the way I look at it. In Green Bay, they don't really do those too much. They don't. That's not really the way they do it, and the way that they like to operate on the offensive line. That's not something that they're doing a bunch of, or at least in my time there, they're not re-signing a guy for a year to show us again. Like, it's just not their MO, so to speak. And I don't know the whole thing that happened. I mean, I know that he was cleared with the injury. I don't really know what happened with his leg at the end of that Philly game. I don't know the injury and all that. So that may also be a factor in this thing. So that's another thing to think about, I guess. But again, that's the way I looked at it. Because I think his performances this year have been better than they were in years prior. That's from what I watched.
All right, Sugar Free, where are you now?
I agree. I agree with everything Brian said, but the Packers showed, even though you say, Brian, that they don't do that, they don't sign him to a 1 year. Why would you not sign him to a 1 year at 3.5 and make sure that he's starting? You tell him he's starting, and if he loses, and he may lose his job, but you're going to pay him more than 3.5.
Wait, hold on. I'm not the expert, but I'll tell you why. You know the reason why, Sugar Free. They wanted to be better. They thought Jenkins could be an outstanding center, and they brought a guy in a guard. Hold on, let me finish. You're just like Homer. Wait, I am Homer.
Yeah.
All right, that's what they believe. They believe by the amount of money that they're paying that guard that those two improved the team significantly, and part of that is the belief of how good a center Jenkins would be. Myers wasn't bad. Jenkins is much better. Not. Hold on. All right, expert. We will let you get to the point. You can't hold on. You can't just throw stuff out and not have it be challenged.
I have to set it up.
Hold on,
I
expert.
Have to set it up, Homer.
Fine. Yeah, you set it up. Takes forever. All right.
Okay.
Expert, hold on. We'll get to it. Expert, where are you on the discussion Sugar Free and I had about what the Packers are doing?
I mean, I think that's what it seems like they're coming. That's what they're looking at. They're thinking that Elton is going to improve them at center more than what they currently had. And I mean, you don't pay a guard $77 million if you don't believe that moving the current left guard to center isn't going to improve the line dramatically, because that's what that move tells you. And they're certainly not going to move Elton to right guard to replace Sean Ryan and move someone else into center. They're just not going to play those gymnastics with it. That's just
why.
Because they're not going to.
Well, you just said, Brian, the two best offensive linemen are on one side and the other side. They're one side of the line and the other side. So now you're going to move Jenkins, who is the best on the left side, into center, and now your left side, and if you put Banks at right, your left side is now weaker. who are you playing at? You're going to put Ryan in next to Walker. And
No. Sean Ryan's staying at right guard next to Zach.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Tom's.
Yep.
Next to Tom's. Okay.
Yep.
But the thing is I think they need to put Ryan in at center, or get a center in another center that's out there in free agency, and either move Jenkins to the right or move Banks to the right, and keep those two guards, keep your two tackles, and get a center. I just don't believe how much you have talked and how much I've seen of football that the center, even though you're saying that their communication is that needs to be there, that the center doesn't have to be the most gifted guy on the team, and that's what concerns me.
No, you're right. Maybe listen. You're 100% correct on that, and I'm not taking back what I said on that. I mean, from a blocking standpoint, they are not as responsible as, say, other guys on that offensive line. So you're 100% correct on that. That is the risk you are taking if you do that move, that one of your best blockers now is not as responsible as he normally was playing one of the guard positions and blocking guys one-on-one. So yes, you're 100% correct on that. That's a risk that they're taking.
Yep. So and last thing, if we see a center taken earlier than you think in the draft, then I will applaud that. So that's all I got.
So here's my question for you before you go. What are we doing with Jordan Morgan then?
Well, he's going to have to be a fill-in there. He's going to have to be a fill-in right now, or he's going to take Ryan's spot. I mean, that's what I believe, guard. Right? Yeah,
at right guard. I mean,
correct.
Or is he going to go play left tackle?
I can help both you guys out. All of those are now options, which they really like.
I just don't like Jenkins at center. That's all I ask. No Jenkins at center.
Well, you're wrong. They like him at center because of who was available at guard. They clearly like the new guard, right, expert? Otherwise, they wouldn't have paid him all that money.
They like him a lot. Yeah,
yes.
I mean, Sugar Free makes the point, and I've made the point a bunch before about the center position, as important as it is for communication, and obviously I played with great centers and how good they were. The truth of the matter is, they are not as responsible, like I've said, for blocking one-on-one when they're reach blocking shades and digging guys out, and in the run game, that's very vital and important. But in the pass game, which I believe, when you have a quarterback that makes $55 million a year, at the end of the day, that is the most important thing, is keeping him upright.
Maybe they think the running game is more important, not as important, but more important. And they have improved that aspect of the offensive line.
They 100% can, yeah. I mean, they could certainly say that back at me, and they would probably not be incorrect. So,
right, but I mean, I don't know that they would do this unless that was part of it, right? They must.
For sure. They think, they think that they've improved it. They think they've improved it, and I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that they haven't, right? Like, I can't say they haven't, because Elton is a hell of a player. He's very good. He's very versatile. He's one of the guys that I've told you that he's played every position. Like, he's played up and down the line. He's one of the few guys that can do it, which is wild to me, right? Like, he's done everything. But it does, it is the thing that if you move him out of a spot where he is a guy that you can leave one-on-one for a whole game, and he's not, he doesn't have to do that, and you have someone else do it, does that create an issue at some point? That's the only thing that, essentially Sugar Free saying, and that, I agree with that, but that's a valid point. So, that's something that we'll have to see. But again, I think they trust the new guard they signed. I mean, again, they have to with that type of money.
And they trust Jenkins.
Yes.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We will continue with the expert, Brian Bulaga, the doctor of football. Now he's the expert. There are just so many titles for him. Gruberlov says Thanalysis Live is back March 29th at Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Join Thanasis for a live show that is going to entertain fans like none other. Last year, Thanasis surprised the MVP Giannis, his brother, with a surprise appearance from Stephen A. Smith. So you never know what Thanasis has planned for this year, but I'm saying it and telling you, Thanasis has something planned. When you do that in 2024, you've set a standard. You damn well better come up with something special in 2025, and he knows that. Next.
The Homer Hour is back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on 43. We are backing up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe, so give yourself that extra time. On the southbound side, we're slowing down before the Marquette, all the way down through the Marquette, all the way down past Beecher. On the Beecher off-ramp, there is a violator that got pulled over, so a little bit of a distraction there. We've also got a crash heading into the Mitchell interchange on 4394 southbound, so give yourself that extra time. It is off on the right shoulder, luckily, just before you hit the Mitchell interchange after the Plainfield curve. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, mostly clear skies, breezy with a low of 38. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy with a high in the 40s to the north, 50 in Milwaukee, 60s to the south. Weather is brought to you by Higher Love Cannabis Company. No matter the forecast, they have something to lift your spirit. Less than an hour from Green Bay. Visit us in Ironwood and Menominee or online at findhigherlove.com/CBD. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
TGIM. Thank goodness it's March. Court is in session. Basketball tournament time is the most exciting time of the year. Are you set for tip-off? Get those brackets ready and stock up for all the games with a trip to Discount Liquor. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor, where since 1960, we've been your one-stop shop for everything alcohol-related. With a selection of over 15,000 varieties of beer, wine, liquor, and mixers, all at the lowest prices in town, Discount Liquor is sure to make your tournament party a success. So get those brackets together and start the madness. Discount Liquor, 2 locations, Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow in Maine. See all of our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Brewers opening day is coming up on Monday, March 31st against the Royals. Be here for the first crack of the bat, the first pop of the glove, and that first taste of summer as we celebrate the start of a new season. The party starts pregame with live entertainment and a national anthem performance by singer-songwriter Allison Mahal. Plus, get here early for a special pregame tribute to Bob Uecker. You don't want to miss out on one of the biggest days in baseball. Get your seats for opening day now at Brewers.com.
This is Kevin Moret from Mentality. Every day is a silent competition, and with testosterone dropping 1% annually, you're fighting an uphill battle. Your colleagues notice when you lose your edge, your partner senses when your confidence wavers, and without addressing low T, you're set up to fail. No willpower can overcome this hormonal deficit. Mentality's FDA-approved treatments have shown a 30% increase in testosterone levels. Don't let low T define you. Reclaim your power at mentalityhealth.com/radio. That's mentalityhealth.com/radio.
Save big money now at Menards. Transform your space with Window Image's light filtering cordless cellular shades. Its energy-efficient design traps air, making your rooms cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. The soft fabric filters light for the perfect combination of function and fashion. And they can be trimmed to it for free in-store. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Hey, ready to sweeten your game? It's time for Quick Trip's Nature's Touch Ice Cream. Ooh, making moves like the starting lineup of a championship team. Whether you're gearing up for the big game, celebrating a win, or just looking for a sweet break in the action. Chocolate, vanilla, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip, and more. Yeah, there's no such thing as a bad pick. So why wait? Flavor doesn't scoop itself. Get your hands on your winning Nature's Touch Ice Cream flavor today. Only at Quick Trip.
This is the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
They are lined up to talk with the doctor of football, the expert, Brian Bulaga, future Hall of Fame. We're going to have to make a list of all the Knicks names. Blue. There are probably others. Go back to high school. Call his high school friends and find out what his first nickname was. Expert, doctor of football, Brian Bulaga, future Hall of Famer. Do you remember the first nickname you ever had?
Yeah, my first nicknaming when I was way back in the day was Bubba. I was Bubba. Yeah, way back when. So that was the first one.
Because you were so big, you don't seem to carry yourself like a Bubba to me. And actually, Bubba is more of a Southern nickname, I always thought. But I'll defer to why'd they call you Bubba?
Yeah, because I was bigger. Yeah, because I was a little heftier, a little bigger.
Did you like it?
I didn't mind it. It stuck. You know what I mean? Like it stuck right away. I mean, there was no shaking it. There was no shaking.
And does it still exist today or not?
No one kind of goes by that.
That's
anymore.
like my nickname for you. You know what my nickname for you is?
What?
4.
What?
4.
Oh, 4.
No one knows what that means except me. And you're laughing, so I know I know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah,
we don't have to go there. But just so you know, someone can ask me. All right. Josh in Kenosha, you're on with future Hall of Famer Brian Bulaga. Let her fly.
Hi, guys. So it's great that you just brought the nicknames because I don't know if anyone thought of this, but did they ever call you Bulaga Whale?
I've heard Beluga whale. I mean, I've heard Beluga whale. I mean, I got caught. I mean, I've heard that. I mean, there's no. I mean, that's. I mean, I've gotten called that for sure. I mean, I heard that a lot on the road in road games.
Oh,
I mean, I heard that. Yeah.
So the real question I got then, and this stems from, I know you guys love Aaron Rodgers, the possibility he goes to play for the Vikings following Brett Favre. Would you have considered ever playing for one of the divisional rivals, like my Bears, or any other kind of big rival?
I want to answer that. If they give him enough money, hell yes. This is a job, as various pro players. It's a job. Like, he's going to turn down significantly more money because it's the Bears or the Vikings or the Lions. If Brian Bulaga says that, I'm going to say he's lying. All right.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, Homer's right. I mean, it is the job, and if they offer you, I mean, the most money at the end of the day, that's normally where guys go, and that's the reality of it. I mean, but to be like, I will say this, I will 100% say this, and this is not this is no BS on my part. If I got offered the same amount, say at Chicago or Minnesota, compared to, say, another team, I don't know, like Buffalo or it doesn't matter, Carolina, I would probably choose the opposite. I would probably choose the opposite of like Chicago or one of those others, just to not go there. Just being brutally honest.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Not that matters or is worth anything. All right, Josh, back to you.
No, that's a fair point. Because I don't know if it's maybe an unwritten rule with guys. They don't want to go to a division rival. Maybe there's kind of a nostalgia thing where you want to stay loyal to the team that you spent most of your time with or that drafted you. I get that it's a job and you want to make money, but sometimes, guys take it personal. They don't want to, feel like a traitor, if that makes sense.
I would also add this, Josh. If there's another radio station that offers me significantly more, I'm gone. And when I told Brian Bulaga, he would say, I get it. I get it.
I would understand.
Yeah.
I would totally get it.
The question is how much? And as you just said, if it was the same, am I leaving? Hell no. If it's a little more, probably not. And I've lived that, and I have no interest in telling people the story. So I've had the chance to make that decision. But there's a point. There was another station interested in me, and we met. They didn't even bring up money. And I said, whatever. I just said, I got to go. Because if somebody wants you, what do they start with, expert of football? They start with the money.
They start with the dollar amount.
That's right.
That's what it is.
And they didn't bring up money, and I'm thinking, I got other things to do. Breakfast isn't that good. All right. John in West Bend, you're on with the doctor of football, Brian Bulaga.
Homer, thanks for taking my call. Brian, my question is, throughout your football career, do you remember back if there was one coach that you know markedly took you to the next level from where you came in to it changed you as a player?
Great
and
question.
Describe that situation if you could.
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. Coming out of high school, I didn't really play offensive line. So, I was very raw going to the University of Iowa. And
you were a tight end, right?
Yeah, I was a tight end. So, when I got to the University of Iowa, I really had no idea what I was doing. And they had, I had to gain weight and do all that. But I found out really quick in training camp that there was intention and a vision of them to have me potentially start as a freshman. So, very quickly, Reese Morgan, the offensive line coach at Iowa, and even Coach Ferentz, it was almost like overtime duty of preparing me at practice in the film room, meeting with me, before practice, after practice, in between classes, extra time after practice on the field, trying to get technique in. And then obviously in the strength and conditioning aspect, that's a whole nother thing with the strength and conditioning coach. But I think the job that Reese Morgan, the O-line coach, and obviously Coach Ferentz, once I became a tackle, because I played guard my freshman year, once I became a tackle, I really worked a lot with Kirk. Kirk always took the tackles, and I worked with him daily. The work that those two guys did with me in 3 years at the University of Iowa, was tremendous, and it really shaped and carved me as a player, because when I got to Green Bay, a lot of those fundamentals that they taught me, I would think about in Green Bay. Yeah, I mean, was learning from Campy and the guys that I played with, but there were still basic fundamentals and techniques that I always would fall back on that I learned as a freshman, just simple things, just simple basic things that you could always just think about and rely on that they taught me that would just transfer over. So those guys laid a amazing foundation for me to make it to the level that, was the NFL at that point for me.
Can't do better than that, so we're going to break in the fourth quarter coming up next.
More of the Homer Hour coming up next on 94.5 ESPN. It doesn't matter if it's your first betting slip ever or just the first one of the week. We've got your Potawatomi sportsbook picks covered. Tune in Wednesdays to the Weekly Wager with Greg Matzek, Ben Brust, and Jen Latta.
If someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything, you take it.
The Weekly Wager, Wednesday nights at 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel.
Some road trips are about the journey, others are where they take you. And sometimes, the best destinations are just across the Wisconsin border. There you'll find Higher Love stands out with the largest selection of products at an unbeatable value, making every trip worth it. Less than an hour from Green Bay, and just over 2 from Milwaukee, Higher Love in Menominee is closer than you think. Come see why they are voted best in Michigan. Also find them in Ironwood or any of their 9 UP locations. Start your trip at findhigherlove.com/CBD.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouthwatering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
At the Knickerbocker Hotel, we believe your stay should be as convenient and luxurious as possible. Whether you're planning a small meeting or a special event, our versatile space is perfect for any occasion. Start your day with a delicious meal at the Nick Restaurant and Bar, or unwind at the Nick Salon and Spa. Wanting to stay active? Their 24-hour fitness center is always available. If you need something custom made or alterations made, there's a tailor on site. The Knickerbocker, where every detail is designed with your comfort in mind. For more information and to book your next stay, visit knickerbockeronTheLake.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
For more than 40 years, Network Health has been the trusted experts in health plans. Just like you, they're honest, hardworking, and grateful to call Wisconsin home. Whether you're seeking coverage for yourself, your family, or your employees, Network Health has you covered with a range of options, including individual and family marketplace plans, employer plans, and Medicare Advantage plans. Call Steve Llewellyn, Saganiac Planning, 262-783-6161. 262-783-6161. Saganiac Planning, a name synonymous with employee benefits and top-notch service. The Saganiac Planning Marquette basketball greatest scorers. Marcus Howard has all the records at Marquette, and his greatness might also be best explained by saying he passed George Thompson. Thompson's 1,773 points when finishing in 1969. It was the Marquette career mark until 2009, 40 years later. And with Marcus Howard, Thompson the only player averaging over 20 points per game for a career. George Thompson, not number one, but he belongs in the same room with Marcus Howard.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Milwaukee's Kyle Walsh for Universal Windows Direct. The tax time sale is going on now, and they'll make your wallet even happier by paying no interest until 2030. Schedule your free in-home estimate today.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
You're listening to the Homer Hour on 94.5 ESPN.
The show, which has given and mentioned more nicknames than we've ever done with the Doctor of Football, Brian Bulaga. It is the Brian Bulaga Homer Hour and Fisco Auto Body. I tell you about them because everybody needs an auto body place. Because when you need an auto body place, it's a pain. It doesn't have to be a pain. We just go to Fisco. It's as good as you can do. They're the best. And then people like me because I tell them about Fisco. Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin. On Forest Home in Franklin. I don't give the address often enough. It's family business owned since 1931. You want to know why they're that good? Because it's not what they do, it's who they are. Family business, been in the family, still in the family. So imagine the experience all of them have in doing it. Expert workmanship guaranteed for the life of your vehicle on Forest Home in Franklin. And again, Fisco, 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 so you remember the name. The Brian Bulaga Homer Hour, just so you know, if you're a regular listener, during the season, Rob Demoski comes on Mondays. Or is it Jason who's on Monday? I forgot.
It is Rob on Mondays.
Right, doesn't matter. Whoever it is, they're not on in the off season. They got other stuff. We would like, I can't speak for Brian. I would like Rob Demoski on all year. He's really good. How about you? Brian Bulaga? I'm sure you would as well.
Yeah, I like Rob. I mean, he's fantastic.
So,
for sure.
I'm sure he probably, I don't know why he doesn't want to do it. You know why he doesn't want to do it? I know the answer to everything. They don't pay him enough. And how can I say that? Because I know there's a price that if they paid him, he would do it. Think I'm right on that, Brian?
Most likely.
Yeah.
Most likely. Yeah.
I think there are very few things in my life that I would say I definitely wouldn't do, even if the money was huge. I don't have to tell you what those are, but there aren't many. All right, the Discount Liquor Twitter poll question. How would you describe the Packers winning the Super Bowl this coming season? By the way, I want to thank all the people that called in because, you care about the Packers, you care about Brian Bulaga, you got a question. That's how I define if someone cares about something. If you say you care and you don't have a question, you really don't care that much. How would you describe the Packers winning the Super Bowl this coming season? Shocked, surprised, or long overdue? Shocked, 44%. Surprised, 40%. Long overdue, 16%. This is not about what is right. This is understanding where people are and how they should address it if it happens. If you're shocked, then if the Packers won the Super Bowl, you should just view this team as performing one of the greatest achievements of all time, like the Titanic coming up from beneath the water.
Yeah.
On the other hand, go ahead.
I was going to say, I guess here's my question. If you're in the shocked category, right? Like if you're absolutely shocked.
Yep. I can answer for them.
Do you have the expectation more so? I mean, you said shocked, but like, I mean, absolutely shocked. Like you can't, like, this is unbelievable. Like you're like out of your mind shocked.
Yeah. I would say shocked. What you're talking about is that we could get another question. Is like, if you don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yes, that's what I mean. Like, are you more in the category then of like, you don't even think this is a playoff team? I guess is what I'm saying.
Great question. We can do that as a poll question. My thought would be that is very small. Shocked because this group, led by the GM and the head coach, has never even, they haven't made the conference championship game in a few years, and they've never even gotten to a Super Bowl. So, yes, that would be a good follow-up. Do I think they're a playoff team? Hell yes. Mm-hmm. Not yes. I would be shocked if they didn't make the playoffs. That's what I would say. I don't know how you would be.
That's exactly what I would say. I would be shocked. That would be me.
As you were shocked when the last year of Mike McCarthy.
Yep. Yeah, shocked. I was shocked how bad we were. Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was because the thing was we started off that season.
And to this day, you still don't get it, right?
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened. I mean, it's one of the things that is like you can look back and you can say, oh, maybe there were signs in the season before, but you still look at the team and you don't understand, right? Like you still don't get it. Tough to put your finger on it and really wrap your head around it.
Couldn't wait for the next season.
Yeah.
To prove it all wrong.
Yes, 100%.
Even with the unknown of the new coach. All right, there you have it. And we'll ask. That'll be the next question coming up when Brian's on. Remember that, Pebble. I forget I'm old. What was your name again? Will the Packers make the playoffs? That's got to be 85, 90%. I'd be shocked if it's less than 85. Come on.
Yeah.
All right. ESPN National. NCAA. Do you have an expert on the NCAA brackets? I like to win them, and I'm no problem stealing from someone. Have you found an expert that really helps you do better?
Not really, no.
No?
No.
Brian, no? All right.
Nobody.
Welcome to reality. Both of you, I believe, probably would tell me if you had one.
I would. If I had nobody.
Next.
Northbound on 43. Watch for some delays coming up from just north of the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Westbound 94 slowing down just before 27th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Everything else has cleared up nicely. We're